Good morning, everyone. I hope the evening has kept you well, and I hope it keeps you well into tomorrow morning. Okay, I'm going to keep this video really, really short, and I wanted to make a video that shrinks this down where maybe those that couldn't see it can see it. Okay, and I have to remember I'm actually doing this based on a segment. I'm basing it on this window, so if I happen to not pay attention and I minimize this window, the video is going to go blank. Okay, so. This is the file. This. If you look at the application, there's some options in here called build from managed and build from folder. This menu is not hard coded in this application. It's a text file that anyone it's the end user can make it whatever they want. They want to use a language, a foreign language. You can do all that stuff. It's just a localization file. Okay, so it's not hard coded in here. And when you select this option, it literally, the UI interface says, you've told me there is a function associated with that menu option. That's what I'm going to fire off. That's all it does. So for now, I do have where I can build from a managed folder. That's in the game's configuration file. And that literally says, let's say Skyrim downloads, or I'm going to look to this folder for Skyrim downloads, and I'm going to look to, this folder for other, other download files, depending on the game. It's game dependent. And then you can rename the file by drag and dropping, or you can do a batch rename. Okay, so this is this right here is the quick database I built. And as you can see, that is the unique file identifier. That should be unique. That's a SHA-256 hash. That should be unique per file. So if you hash the contents of a file, it should uniquely identify that file, which is what I need. So here is that file name's name locally on disk. I don't really put the folder on, on let's say that it exists in, let's say, on my system, because that's not really relevant. But what I really am interested in, the file name itself. Okay, so that being said, I can go in here and I can change this any way I want. I could make this underscore V 1.0 underscore. I can move this information back here. Let's say that you're working with ModD. Let's say you're working with a database from ModDB. You can actually add information to this. I know some said that's the unique mod ID, I think, on the Nexus, but you don't necessarily have, you can include that, but you don't have to uh, use that, in that specific format. You can literally create your own format. You can put an identifier up there. So let's say you want to give the Nexus an ID of like 00. So you could literally make that 00 dash and then and then put the unique mod ID number. Therefore, you can split that field out, get the 00, know that's Nexus mod, and that links back to Nexus mods. Or let's say it's ModDB, you could put 01. I'm just showing you just a way you could actually organize the data. You could change it to 01, which that could then point, you could have a text file which says, these indices, 00 is Nexus, 01 might be ModDB, 02 could be, I'm going to throw this in there. I know, but anyways, it's just, I was going to say Lover's Lab, but whatever you want to do. Okay, so that way you can kind of organize it. So that way you know exactly how to handle whatever that associated piece of information is. Okay. All right. So what I did was I went up here and I built from my managed folder. So you're actually looking at my file name on disk, and you're looking at my hash. Okay, I'm gonna go over here and you can see where I ran it. This is the name of the file, but I'm gonna delete this out because I'm gonna have to leave this up. Otherwise, you're not gonna be able to see anything. So the only way I can show you is I'm gonna have to go over here and I'm gonna have to get the file's name. And I have to do it like this. See, I renamed the file to test it. This is actually the file's name here on my desktop. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this file and I'm going to drop it over here onto this. And again, you can see the result of that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go over here and I'm going to copy its path. Now this is what it renamed it to. See? So it's not just a tool to rename, let's say, to rename a file back to what, let's say, a particular website um, does. You can actually create your entire, you can create your own unique naming schema if you want. And then programmatically, someone can write a program. I'll do it later. I've got other things I need to do right now, but I'm gonna reparse this and reformat it. So therefore, you can reformat this data. You can actually have a file name string any way you want, and this will allow existing files to have a very, very specific name, and it cleans it up. It literally, because this is, I changed this, if you notice, I changed this from a renaming utility to a downloads manager. And later on, probably tomorrow, the next day, I've got to put the import and stuff in. It's going to be super easy. It's probably not even take more than 10, 15 minutes. And then I need to test it. It's the testing that usually takes a long time. But there's also things I can leverage in the libraries that I wrote that underlies this interface. I can leverage some of the features of that. One of them has the ability to watch folders for files to be created or changed. So I can actually tell it, I want you to watch uh, Google Downloads. I want you to watch. I use Chrome. I want you to watch Chrome Downloads. Wherever I have my downloads file going, I want you to watch that folder. And then if, as an example, I'm downloading files, the minute that file hits that download folder, it'll kick off an event. The UEI has its own processing loop. It'll say, "Oh, you got an event here. What is it? A file's created. All right, I'm gonna copy that file over to wherever you want it to be." And that particular method is move download file, which is in the games library. So that's the one that I use. If the file already exists, if the file name already exists, it appends a unique name to it. And the reason I had to do that was GitHub, because if I download, let's say, the source code of something, somebody changes it, it's the exact same name. There's no versioning information on it. So that gives me the most recent file. Okay. So yeah, I just wanted to show you that, oh, did I actually go over here and get it? Yeah, I did that. So yeah, that's what the software did. You can do this in batch mode. You can do this individually. You could even use this to identify a file if you don't know what it is. Like, let's say you downloaded something and somebody else has the proper file name for that file and they share that text file with you. You can rename that file. You can identify that file. Yeah. So anyways, I just wanted to kind of let you see this. I know it's not a solution to the problem that everyone's having at the moment, but this is just kind of like something I wanted to do because I needed to know this information here. And it's gonna take me a while to really get everything hashed out and get this built, and then I'll need to go back in and because I do have files from many different sources, so I'll have to go back in and clean this up, and then I'm gonna have to do a batch rename against it to, kind of make my database more of what I want it to be. That's also gonna pose an interesting dilemma because if I do have backups, and those backups are gonna have the original names. So there's kind of there's the data management hurdle that I'll have to kind of figure out as I go. All right, guys. I just want to show you this. I hope everybody has a great evening, and I'll check back in a bit and see what everyone's doing. All right, have a good one.